Hello, people of YouTube. Welcome to episode 3 of our Minecraft Forever series, where, as you guys can tell, we have acquired the legendary Elytra itself. Now, that wasn't a very challenging fight, as it usually isn't, yet those end credits still hit the same. To breathe faster and realize it was not alive. Thousands of deaths. You are alive. And the player was love. You are the player. Wake up. So, we have many plans for this episode, and we are going to be starting a new project in a new area. So here, I'm planning on building an Alaskan-inspired harbor / residential area. But what really stood out to me were the mountains and the big lake in the middle. And I can go over the mountains, add new shapes and sizes and texture it and make it look a lot better. And it's nice because the mountain's already placed for me, so it makes it much easier. But our first build of this area is going to be a boat. And considering it's the first boat I've ever built in Minecraft, I did a pretty good job. At least I think so. We'll see what you guys think as well. Anyways, let's get to business. And that means it's resource collecting time. So let's get that out of the way. And yeah, we could get to building this thing. Before we go, this is what the material list is looking like. It's honestly not that bad. That water is completely wrong. It was just, I should have schematiced it out of the water, but now I'm just too lazy to go back and do it again. But yeah, it's really not that bad. It's just a lot of individual blocks. Like, as the numbers go down, there's just more and more blocks. But, yeah. Alright, enough talking. Let's get to it. And just like that, we have acquired all the resources that we need. 5 shulker boxes is honestly not that bad. But over here, we still have a lot of copper oxidizing. So hopefully, as I build, this will just be oxidizing in the background. But man, Minecraft needs to add a different way for copper to oxidize. Like, it takes way too long. I wish there were a faster way. If there is a faster way and I'm just dumb and I don't know it, you guys should definitely let me know. But this has been my method to oxidize copper, and I hate it so much because I love it so much. Because I love it, but I hate it, and I just love copper. Yeah, anyways, you guys get what I'm saying. But yeah, without further ado, I think it is time to start the boat. Okay, so we're starting off here from the bottom up. Man, let me tell you, it was a pain in the butt to build this boat, because at least the part when you're underwater, because the amount of drowned that came to throw tridents at me. But actually, I did end up getting a trident, and that's amazing. I got a trident, so yeah, now we could definitely put some enchantments on it. But yeah, enjoy as this boat builds up and gets better and better. Okay, here's the boat finished. Let me say, I do really love the details on this boat, like the rigging, the nets on the side. I think it all came together really well. I would maybe tweak a little bit about the shape. I don't think that's a 10 out of 10, but it is good. Let's head on inside because I did do an interior and I want to show you guys that. We have some details on the side, nothing too crazy. I would like to maybe add more details. I really do love how like immersive it feels down here as you look up and you see all the rigging and everything like that. We also have catch written on the sign here. So if we come down here, there isn't too much in this area, but this is where the fun is. So yeah, here's where the butcher lives, and the butcher has a great carpet because he just has a dark and gloomy life after, cutting so much fish all day. I thought maybe he's not the happiest man alive, but maybe he is, maybe he loves his job. But, little details like that are kind of funny to me. Yeah, we got our secondary stone cutter here for, cutting up the fish and all of that. But the real fun happens in this corner. So yeah, we have butcher written on the wall here in red to exaggerate the fact that, he works around blood a lot. The fish and the meat on the campfire with the stone cutter that he uses to cut the fish and all the extra trash and skin and whatever that comes from the fish is stored in there. And the axe and the rotten flesh, just because I thought it matched the vibe, and the blood on the floor. So yeah, that's the butcher's corner. That's where he gets his work done. And yeah, this is the butcher boat. So yeah, we have a couple more plans for this episode. I don't want to just only build the boat. That would be boring. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start fixing up the terrain around here. I'm not going to do too much near the shoreline because I want to leave that for next episode. But speaking ahead of time, I did notice that Alaska doesn't really have too much sand on the shoreline. It's mostly like gravel and things like that. So I'm going to try to match that to the best that I can. Anyways, our plan for right now is to focus on the trees and the terrain. So let's get straight to that. So taking some inspiration from this photo right here, I love the trees and how they tower over the houses. So that's what I was going for here, adding a slope. I want the trees to get taller and taller. By creating a slope, instead of adding super tall trees, just creating a slope in the terrain. So, from that perspective, you'll see the trees getting taller. Quickly had to go gather some resources so we could be back in action. Love how dense it is, I have to say. I think it turned out so good. Usually I don't do spruce trees, but I'm glad I did. As we go on inside, you see the firefly bushes, you know, some coarse dirt, rooted dirt on the ground, you know, just giving it that foresty vibe. It doesn't feel too dense yet just because there's not enough trees, you know, completely surrounding you to the point where you can't even see the damn sky. Again, just, you know, it's rare, but I'm really satisfied with this one. Definitely proud of this one. Okay guys, a little bit short of a video today. I just wanted to spend more time editing, spend more time getting familiar with everything, you know, just trying to improve the quality of my videos. But genuinely, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed everything we built this episode. And there's more to come. And there's more for you to see. There's more for me to build. So you guys have a great day. Peace.